Welcome to the True Grime Stories podcast, where in every episode, we'll unravel a new mystery of cleaning business transformation from a grimy mess to a great success. Join me, your host, Jeannie Henderson, as together we dig up cleaning business secrets that you've been dying to know. Welcome, everyone, to this next episode of True Grime Stories, and you're going to be glad you're here. For our guest today has a great story to share. I've been loving watching the success that he's had as he's grown his business. So let's welcome Aaron Coleman. He is the owner of Platinum Star Cleaning Services in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. And he and his partner and husband, Tony, run this great award-winning business there in Pennsylvania and have had such great growth and success. They also do not only residential cleaning, but commercial cleaning as well. But one of the things that they're really known for is their community involvement. They're very actively involved in cleaning for a reason, serving patients, and I know doing some, community activities around that. As a matter of fact, a lot of great fundraising. He also, very interestingly, was very involved in the restoration of the Phillipsburg train station museum through grant funding, which is really a great way to serve your community that you're part of, and has organized a festival around that town's heritage. And just has received a lot of awards, including Excellence in Small Business Award from the Greater Lehigh Valley Chamber of Commerce, which is a great honor. So welcome, Aaron. I'm so glad to have you here on True Grime Stories today.
Yeah, thank you, Jeannie. I'm so glad to be here as well. It's really exciting.
Well, and especially on your special day. So I want to say a special happy birthday to you, Aaron.
Thank you. Thank you. There's no better way to celebrate than being on this podcast, too.
Yeah, that's so great. So happy birthday. Thanks for sharing your birthday with us.
Yeah.
And tell us where you're at.
So we are on vacation for 2 weeks. We are in the U.S. Virgin Islands in St. John. We are staying in the Bordeaux Mountains in the Coral Bay area, which is other side of the island. So,
yeah. It just sounds.
And that's the view behind us of the house. So.
Yes, that's not a fake background, right? That is that is your real life right now. And and I thought, what a great way to inspire all of us in the cleaning industry to show, like, this is the life you can build when you have a great cleaning business. I did tell Aaron, I may not be there with him in the tropics, but I have it with me all the time because I have a fondness.
We'll be heading to that beach after the podcast.
Yeah, that's great. He'll be on that beach. I'll just be looking at a print on my wall. But well, thank you for sharing this special day with us. That means a tremendous amount to me. And so, our whole goal here is to understand the journey that as residential cleaning business owners we go through. And it can be really challenging for a lot of people. And many of us have stories about, just that grime story of how we were grinding away at our business, couldn't figure out, how to get it going right. Can you share with us, like, when you think back when you were starting out, or even in recent years, of a grime story, like when your business just wasn't doing what you had hoped and you just were trying to figure out how to get through it?
Yeah, so I would say I started the business in 2018. This year we are celebrating our 7th anniversary. We're going into our 7th year of business. And it was about right before COVID. I mean, it was just chaotic. We had cars, we had teams, we had vacuums, we were doing laundry. It was just the nonstop, constant trying to keep up with all of that stuff as we were growing.
Yeah, that's a lot to maintain.
Yes.
You suddenly become like a garage and a vacuum repair service and right?
Yeah, and then you're buying more cars because you're growing and you're thinking that that's what you're supposed to be doing, and you're making more expenses for yourself. And so we COVID, then it was horrible. We signed our lease to our first office because we outgrew our home and our garage. And we signed the first lease of March 1st of 2020.
Oh my
And then,
Lord.
yeah, and then
Oh,
everything shut down completely like 2 weeks later. And it was horrible. It was really, really horrible. And it was a hard time to get really through. Everybody canceled. We decided that the best thing was to cancel everyone and maintain.
mhm,
Um, at that time, I was following Debbie Sardone
mhm.
online. I was following her on Facebook, and I, you know, came across her and I was listening to her. And during COVID, I'll never forget it. She came on live in the morning at one of her conferences.
Mhm.
And it was when I guess flights were being canceled and the shutdown was happening.
I
And
was there.
she, yeah, you were there, right?
I
And
was I was there with her at that conference. Yes.
yeah, yeah, and so she came online. My phone was alerted, and I'll never forget it. It was like she woke up, like everything, like her hair wasn't done. It was like she got right to business. She said to everybody that she was speaking to, and everybody that was listening, this is what we have to start doing. And you have to do A, B, C, and D. And I just followed her during the whole time during COVID. And that really helped save my business. It was really tough for a lot of people. A lot of people didn't make it through.
Right.
And
A lot of people didn't, but Debbie was live every day
mhm.
for over a month helping people navigate that
Yeah,
crazy period of
she had
time.
products. We had purchased products and disinfectant, and we had that shipped to us, and we did all of that stuff. And so the real like aha moment was after COVID. She was having that live the next year, and I think that's when everything started getting back into normal about 2021. And I bought tickets, and I said I'm gonna go, and so I went, and the first day when I was there, I said, this is not going to work for me. This isn't, I have cars, I have teams, I have vacuums, I have laundry. This is not what, this is not going to work. I was looking at plane tickets to go home early. And
Really? I had
yeah,
not
yeah,
heard that before. Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So I was actually looking to leave the conference I was looking to fly back home the next day.
Oh my goodness.
And so I had spoke to Tony that night, and he said,
Mhm.
how's everything going? And I said, I'm probably coming home tomorrow. This is just not for me. And he had said, why don't you give it another day? Like, just, you paid for it, just go through the next day. So I went to the conference the next day,
Mhm.
and that's when all of the coaches started getting up on stage.
Mhm.
And then I started listening to all of them, how they had the same thing that I had going
Yeah,
on.
I
And
did. My
yeah,
business was structured exactly like your business when I
yeah,
started out. I had cars, I had teams,
yeah.
I had
And
to like, and it was awful. It was terrible.
horrible, right? It was
Like,
hard.
oh, I was living in, yeah, it was
Yeah,
terrible
how
chaos,
many?
a mess.
I can't even count how many mirrors I replaced on cars. From cleaners knocking them off, or
Oh my,
mailboxes getting fixed. I mean, it was just ongoing. And
mhm,
it was that next day that you were speaking, and Libby was speaking, and Molly,
mhm.
and I was listening to all of you, and I said, wait a minute, these aren't fake people. They're real business owners. Like, they're telling
Great
the
people.
truth. Yeah,
Mhm.
and that was like the aha moment. I was like, let me throw my credit card at this. Like, I need to get rid of this chaos. And I didn't have a lot of money at that time. And so I was putting things on different credit cards.
Mhm.
And, I said, I have to do this because that's the story that I heard from a lot of other people like yourself. You know,
Yeah,
they were putting on different credit cards to do this. They
yeah.
they made it
I
work.
I went into debt to get Debbie as my coach
Yeah.
because I knew I needed it. And that's the thing that really turned my business around initially. Yeah, for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah. So we I joined, and when I came home, I had a meeting with our employees, and I said, listen, this is what we're doing. We're getting rid of cars. We're getting rid of vacuums. We're not doing teams anymore. We're not doing laundry. And they were kind of just all bright eyed, like a deer in headlights. Like, what's gonna happen?
What is he talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went through and I followed through with every single thing. And they said, it was funny because some of the employees were, well, what are we gonna do? We have to we can't, we have to buy our own vacuums. And I said, yes, I'm not spending another dollar on vacuums. I
Mhm.
said, look in the back room. There's like 20 broken vacuums in there. I said, I'm not repairing them. I'm not fixing them. I'm not doing any of that anymore. And they said, well, we really can't afford to buy a vacuum. I said, well, you can use the client's vacuums then. And they were like, well, the client's vacuums stink. And
Mhm.
I said, well, I don't know what to tell you. It was just,
That's really, so it's great that you mentioned that though, because from a lot of people's perspective, they've never ever even thought of that as a cleaning business owner, that they had that option
Mhm.
to not provide that particular piece of equipment for their team members, and then finding a way to do that.
Mhm.
Like, I think we feel like we have to provide the car and we have to provide the vacuum, and we, like,
Yeah.
and but the people who are the right ones for the role will appear when you structure your business that way that fits, for them.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, it's a great piece of knowledge to
Yeah.
know that you don't have to provide every
No.
single thing to have
No.
people cleaning for you in your business.
Yeah, and so it started with that, and then we started getting rid of the cars, selling them off one by one, which was wonderful.
Isn't
To not,
that the best feeling ever?
it was amazing. It really was. And we started selling those off, and I should have put it on, but I replaced one of those cars with a very expensive diamond ring, that it's like an anniversary band ring that I put on my finger, and I said, I'm gonna take that car and I'm putting it on my finger, and
Oh, I love it.
yeah, so I did because I always wanted like one of those anniversary bands, and we
We
just basically
celebrated big time here at the Henderson house when we
did.
sold all of our vehicles. So yeah, I can relate.
Because they're the expense. You have to keep them clean, you have to keep them washed, then you're detailing them and you're putting the logos on them, and then you have the insurance, and then you have to insure all the drivers and all the
Mhm.
employees, and it just really became very chaotic, taking them off the insurance, putting them on new employees on the insurance, and it was just another part of the chaos which was inside the company. And the
Yeah.
laundry
It's like a
situation.
full-time job just taking care of the cars.
It really is. And then calling the insurance company and dealing with that. And then your insurance is going up because you might have hired someone that,
Mhm.
did have a few things on their license. So yeah, it was a little bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you're making some big changes to your business. And where were you at this time? Like, how many team members did you have, do you think, around that time? How many clients?
I think we had like four team members, or four, yeah, like eight, maybe 8 to 10 employees, 8 employees, and we had probably around 100 clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's about when I started out with making those changes too. My business was almost that same size. So
Yeah.
then you get in there, you're making these changes. What was the thing besides, what you just discussed? What was something that you learned or implemented in your business that kind of took your business to the next level? So because a lot of people get stuck at that 100 client mark.
Yeah,
You
and
never fixed
I think it was definitely training.
it.
Yeah, it was definitely the training and policy and procedure with the employees. We have a 60-page handbook, and they have access to it online, and
Mhm,
we follow it. So there's no wiggle room in that. If you
mhm,
are you exceed your absences, you're out, you're terminated. You don't do this, you're terminated. It's just one of those things. We really stepped up the accountability for ourselves as business owners of
mhm,
following what we or implementation,
mhm.
really just saying, this is what we're doing, and this is how we're following our company structure.
Yeah, accountability. I think that's one of the things that, as cleaning business owners, we often kind of run our business kind of loosey goosey. I want my business to be human and treat
Mhm.
people well, but that doesn't mean that we should let people walk all over us. But we often do.
Mhm.
Before that point, when you mentioned the handbook, did you have any kind of policies at all prior to that?
No, it was like what you said. It was just very like, casual, and oh, I can't make it to work today. Okay, no worries, and cancel, move, do that whole thing.
Mhm,
And it as we grew, it became more and more of a problem. And the people that suffered in the end was the people that were inside the office and the clients. and
mhm,
and at the bottom line was our dollar, our
right,
profit, because we're canceling clients, and then
mhm,
clients might possibly, they get tired of that
right,
same person being out all the time.
mhm,
uh when we definitely went from teams to single cleaners, it was amazing. It changed everything about the whole entire business, because there was no more of this, oh, she cleaned the bathroom, or oh, she cleaned the
oh,
kitchen,
right,
or
yeah,
yeah.
pointing the finger,
Yeah. So
uh-huh,
it was okay. Well, you were the only one in the house. You were the person that was assigned, so you
again,
didn't do. Yeah, it was
accountability, right?
accountability. Exactly. And that really changed a lot, and they enjoyed working by themselves. There was the drama completely went down. This one doesn't
Mhm,
like that one. This one doesn't like this one. This one works slower than I do. This one's on their phone all the time. So it completely erased all of that.
yeah, isn't that great? I mean, I think
Yeah.
that a lot of people don't realize, they think that people won't want to work by themselves, they think that people are afraid of it, but you know, everybody I talk to who makes that transition is surprised by the fact that the team members are actually happier that way, but they have to
Yeah.
try it first to know it.
Yeah.
But I love that you understood that it created that level of accountability. And then I'd like to dive deeper into that. But
Mhm.
first, I want to take a quick break. You
Okay.
mentioned, cleaning business fundamentals, and I'd like to give people the opportunity to learn more about that. So let's take a break and hear from our sponsor, Cleaning Business Fundamentals, and we'll come back and dive deeper into Aaron's story.
After 9 incredible years, it's the grand finale of CBF Live. We're going out with a bang, and you don't want to miss it. Join CBF founder Debbie Sardone and hundreds of cleaning professionals for 3 game changing days packed with insider strategies, powerful networking, and exclusive tools to take your business to the next level. This is your last chance before CBF Live is gone forever. Use my discount code in the show notes and save $100 on your ticket to CBF Live 2025.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining us again here on True Grime Stories with our guest, Aaron Coleman with Platinum Star Cleaning Services in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. Aaron was sharing with us about how he took his business from chaos into, creating this growing and thriving business. But one of the things that I loved that you shared, Aaron, you were talking about how creating accountability in your business through various strategies, one of them being policies that are followed and enforced, right? And then also changing your cleaning structure so that the employees could take ownership of what they were doing. And so let's go back to policy a little bit. I think that this is one area that as a coach, I see many cleaning business owners kind of not taking us seriously or just not knowing where to start. Like, I don't even know how to create a policy handbook or do that. But how has that been such an important tool for you in your growth? And what role does it play today? Like,
Yeah.
having that
Because
clear
yeah,
policy.
with the policies, there's no gray area. It's just, black and white. That's the policy. This is how we run our company. You violated that policy. And unfortunately, this is the disciplinary action that is, set for that. And then, we still, act as humans, and treat our employees humans, and respect that. But there's a certain point where if you don't follow your policy, then you're allowing kind of chaos to drip in, I believe, into your company.
Mm-hmm.
And once you do that, then the employees can start taking advantage. And, they'll say, well, they did that. Why are you, taking it down on me? So it doesn't matter which employee or how long or their longevity they've been with us. It's our policy.
Mm-hmm.
And we update them. We just sent out a reminder of the company policy with updating our policy book. Because we've moved. That's another story. We sold our house. We had this big house, and we had an office that we were paying for, and we sold that. We bought a building and put our business downstairs and built upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
But the going back to the policy, if you don't it always has to be updated, going into
Right. Yeah.
every year because things change.
Yes.
And it's a reminder, especially even when clients, employees quit. We have a whole, discharge packet that we send them. And it's pieces that are pulled from the policy book.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's sending in and giving them the instructions of, when they drop off, when they can drop off, how it's supposed to be dropped off, what the
Mm-hmm.
fee is if things aren't returned in the way that they received them.
Right.
We run that, as another policy,
Mm-hmm.
inside the company. And I think it helps a lot. It removes the chaos, and
Right.
it really removes that chaos, and it's clear instructions for the employees.
Right. Well, I think
And
people really need that. They need clarity. They need to, people need structure, just like a little baby needs to have their day planned out. We
yeah,
need it as
yeah,
just as adults, right? Like when we sleep, when we eat, all that kind of stuff. And our team members need that kind of clarity to understand what's expected of them. It helps them feel more secure, and it helps them thrive because they
hmm
know the expectation. They know there's no question.
yeah,
When we
most
leave things unclear, we're asking for trouble,
hmm
right?
without a doubt.
Right.
Yeah, 100%, 100% on that, because a couple of our core values, accountability is the big one, right? Integrity,
Mm-hmm.
is another one, and communication. Those are three big words in our company,
Mm-hmm.
that we relay to the employees, and that's why I believe now we have such an amazing team. We have over 23 employees right now. We're trying to get back up to 30,
Mm-hmm.
and we have over 300 clients, and we continue to grow. And it's because we have this team that understands exactly what they're doing, how they're supposed to do it. They know what the policies are in the company, so they don't violate them. And we don't tolerate if somebody does violate the policy. We have a no call out policy in for 90 days, when they're on probation, and they know that they will be terminated if they call out in 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
And what that kind of does for us is it kind of weeds out the people that kind of have this, oh, I don't feel like going to work today. It's nice, and yeah. And so we had one employee. This just happened last week. She was new, worked 2 days. She was an excellent employee, excellent cleaner, really worked well with others and the trainer.
Mm-hmm.
But the one day she called out, and she said, "Oh, my eye is closed shut. I can't see, and I can't take a picture to show you." And I thought to myself, I don't think
And I
so.
can't take a picture to show you. Interesting.
Yeah,
There,
we can't.
there are cameras everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. And this is, and I'm thinking to myself, no. I said, I wish you the best of luck, but this is not going to work out.
Oh
you know?
my goodness. But there was no question.
Yeah.
Like your
Mhm.
policy's in place, you set it, they know ahead of time,
Yeah.
and that's the way it is. And the people who, I mean, we all win when policies are enforced, but you've built a great team, and great employees want to work with other great employees.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Without a doubt. Mm-hmm.
And that's what policies that are enforced help you do. You know, when you follow the policy, it helps you build this team where it builds a sense of trust for you, Aaron, that you're gonna provide for them a great team to work on
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, we know what is expected of everyone. So, you know, kudos to you on that because a lot of people create policy handbooks and then they don't enforce, they don't follow through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they
Yeah. And
still stay loosey goosey when it comes to, oh, well, we'll give them a
yeah.
pass this time.
Yeah, it's the same thing with our clients. You know, you need to have the policy set for them as well. Otherwise, the
Good
chaos
point.
breaks out in your structure, right? In your
Mhm.
scheduling.
What's an
You know,
example when you talk about like how do you communicate that to your clients?
yeah. So we did what we did recently was that we just, you know, in the beginning of the new year, we just sent them a couple of the most important policies. Three we did. And one of them was because we were going into winter, so it was our snow policy.
Mhm.
And the second one was about cancellation, you know, canceling appointments. And the third one was vacations and planned things ahead. And
I
yeah,
love that
so
you're talking about that as you're in the sunshine with the palm trees softly swaying behind you. You're talking about snow and vacation, but
yeah. So we, you know, we sent that out. I sent out a video, you know, attached to it, and from me with an update of the company and what was going on from us. And you know, the feedback was it was amazing. You know, from the clients. Great. I'm so glad, you know, that you sent that out. Congratulations, and you know the different things that we were doing and stuff.
Mhm.
And it kind of sets the clear picture for them as well going into the new year. Like, oh, we're going to Italy. I better cancel that appointment for June, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, oh, we're planning this vacation, or we're not going to be. We'll be out of town, or whatever it might be. And then it doesn't create this, you know, chaos in the company. We had a client the other day that called in and said, "Well, I need to have my cleaning changed to, you know, this day," and you know, it needed to be moved. I'm having surgery. And, you know, I kind of explained to her and I said, I understand the stress of having surgery and, you know, being planned. I said, but this was a planned, you know, event.
Mhm.
You know, we just can't accommodate you. You know, there's just, you know, we have a full schedule. And we basically went into, you know, how our cleaners have set schedules, full schedules to provide them with full paychecks.
Mhm.
When they cancel or skip, you know, we went into about how we have to charge them more, and you know they can't have the same cleaner if they want to stay on schedule, and
Mhm.
we kind of explained this in a video to them, and they understood. But this was a new client that came on board. But I think when you have that, you know, communication is
Mhm.
key, I think, to any success of anyone, even in your personal life. If you're communicating with your partner everything that you need to and what's going on with you, you're going to have a successful marriage or relationship.
Yeah, right.
Uh, yeah.
All
And,
relationships are dependent on communication and you can't over communicate. One of the things that I love about you, Aaron, and the way that you run your business is that you are the face of your business and you regularly create videos.
mhm,
And I think this is a great example too. You guys should go out and stalk Aaron and plan car cleaning a little bit because he does a great job in the video communication that he does. And we all have a camera in our hand. We can all
yeah.
create a quick video and send it out to people. And it works so much better than the written word.
Mhm.
People do not read what you write.
No,
I
no.
mean, no matter how simple you make it, they will not read it, but they will listen to it if it's not too long and
Yeah.
they know that they can depend on you for good information. So kudos to you, Aaron. I think you've done an amazing job in that regard. And I think it's a great example for all of us. I don't do it. I do it, but I don't do it nearly as much as you do. And it's a good reminder to me, like, Gosh, I
Yeah.
need to send out a video to my clients. I
Yeah.
haven't done that in a little while.
And I think that they, a lot of clients, they don't know me
Mhm,
or Tony personally because they usually
mhm.
never even deal with me. They're mostly dealing with the people that are inside the office virtually. We went,
Right?
a lot of
Yeah.
us are all
Right.
virtual. But, they like that. They like to put the face, they like to know the story, behind that. And I think that they, they feel a sense of being part of something
Mhm,
successful and clear and communicated to them, and a lot of clients love that.
mhm,
We went and we sent a little update about Tony and I, how we sold our house and we bought this building. And so we're right in the middle of a downtown, and our building is right by the theater. We have 9 parking spaces out in the back. And so we told them, we said, listen, guess what? Happy New Year. You'll always have free parking in downtown Easton. And, we have 9 parking spaces. So that's part of the perk of being a regular recurring
oh,
client,
what a
with
neat
us.
thing. That's
Yeah.
cool. I love
Yeah.
that.
And they just, the replies back were like, you're kidding me, right? I don't come to Easton.
That's a premium thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And we structured it so our weekly clients, they have priority when there's like big festivals going on in
Mhm,
town, because they're paying, the top
mhm,
dollar, they're the
mhm,
VIP. So, we're doing more things, like that because we do have this live work situation going on where we live upstairs and the building is down,
mhm.
our office is downstairs. So it's,
That's
it's neat. And I think that you do need to communicate, and that's just with the clients, future clients, as well as the employees.
yeah.
I'm always communicating with the employees all the time, on a daily basis, sometimes 3-4 times a week. But it's pretty much, I try to get out daily something to them, whether it's motivational, or just an update on a policy.
Mhm,
It's the beginning of the week, check your vacuums, that kind of stuff. So,
mhm.
and
That's so
and they're, yeah, they're, it's changed completely. And with the messages that it gets me all emotional a little bit, but the most messages I received from all of my employees individually was just, it was so sweet. It really was. It was just really heartwarming to see that they took the time out to personally send me individual messages of support, and just saying that you're a great leader and we love working for you and enjoy your birthday. You work so hard for all of us, and all of those things. So
yeah.
yeah. So it was nice to hear it. It's like that affirmation of, okay, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's the reward that you get for, caring deeply for your people and, wanting to provide a great experience for your team and for your clients.
Hmm.
And you set such a wonderful example of leadership in your community. You are a great person to look to when it comes to just being a great part of your community. You're a great part of our cleaning community as well.
Yeah, I love our community.
And yeah,
Yeah.
um, and the other thing is the way that you have taken your communication to the next level during the holidays
Yeah.
was pretty amazing. The Elf on the Shelf thing. Yeah, you guys have to go check out his Christmas videos too. They were
We have
really, really
so
fun.
much.
Was that
So
Tony in the? No.
yeah. No, it wasn't. It was actually
No.
one of my employees.
Oh, okay. I wonder. In my mind, I was picturing it was Tony.
Yeah, he helps out when he helps out when he can. He's either holding a camera or, and I'm directing him like, oh, you have to hold it this way or hold it in that direction. And yeah, so he laughs at it, and we have so many more fun videos lined up. It's quite comical. So we're really excited. About it, and we're having a really good time, and the employees that are involved in it are having a blast doing it. And that's another thing, is that you find out the talent of what's their secret talent, right?
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, because so many of them do. We have this one employee, his name is Jonathan, this such an amazing young man, and I found out he's an artist.
Oh.
And so you'll start seeing it on our social media. He drew all these children characters in Platinum Star cleaning uniforms and
Mm-hmm.
holding feather dusters and little quotes and stuff. So it's really quite amazing. And I said, listen, I said, I had no idea that you did this. And he's so creative. And he and I, when we get together, he's helping make the videos. And when we get together, we just feed off that creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, I said, you're so good at this. We're actually sending him to the local college for a course
Oh,
um,
that's
in
awesome.
in social media. And he's like, are you sure? And I said, a good employer will invest in their employees. And
Yeah.
I said, I want to make that investment in you. I said, because I see the talent. And I said, I want you to grow with this company. And he was just so taken back because he's 23. He goes, I've
Mhm.
never worked for anyone like that before.
That's
And I said, either have I. You know?
right. You're forging a new path there in a way that most employers never even think of what the impact they can have in the lives of their team members and the
Mhm.
lives of people in the community around them, and you are truly making a big impact and in the lives of other entrepreneurs around you. You're a great example to follow. So you've built this great business. Thank you for sharing. I mean, there were so many great tips in there
Yeah.
about your grime story, but then, coming to today and, the great success that you've built.
Yeah.
Uh, and so what's the future hold for you and Tony and the Platinum Star cleaning team? What do you have planned for the future?
So we're really growing very fast. And part of this vacation was a little bit of a little bit of work as well.
Mhm.
How to straighten up some systems, simplify our company, because I believe that you know, as you get over that $1 million mark and you're going to $2 million, or million to
Mhm.
1.5 to 2, you start, it's either it crumbles, you know,
I can
or
speak to that. Yes.
yeah, right. It's either it's like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? The panic attacks are setting in, this is not working anymore. This doesn't work. It did work before. So
New
that
devils
is,
at every level, right? There's
oh,
just, yeah.
without a
You just
doubt.
you find something new you didn't know every
Yeah.
time you grow a little bit. And yeah, so
Yeah.
good.
So
Well, I'm glad
we
you're doing
changed a lot of our things internally, and we we simplified a lot. There is not We don't need a lot of stuff to function anymore. We're very streamlined in our communication with our employees as well
that.
as
Mhm.
our clients right now, and that has helped tremendously. We were overthinking too many things. Oh, you need an email for this. Oh, you need an email for that. Oh, you need no. We need one email and then disperse it to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Um, and that was because I think that you as you get bigger, and I think this is, I always try to think of like the big huge corporations, and as you get bigger, there's just so many things coming at you. You have this message and you have that message, and then you have your phone going off, and then you have the emails, and you have text
Mhm.
messaging and messenger, and it becomes very overwhelming.
Mhm.
And what we have done now is we have really pretty much simplified that into one system.
Wow.
And yeah,
We'll
yeah.
have
And
to have you come back on and talk about that another time. It
oh
sounds
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I can't wait to hear about that.
It's
Um,
great. It
yeah.
really is. It has changed. It's been a game changer in the company. And listen, we still have problems, right? I think that as business owners, um for someone to come on and say, "Oh, my business is perfect and I'm this and I'm that." And it's not. We'll always have those issues, and we relate that to our clients. We relay it to our employees, and that's a big part of me. Integrity is probably my biggest core value. Is don't BS, don't just be honest. Get straight to the point. There's no reason for it, because then you're just creating more and more circles of chaos kind of.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
you know, we relay, right back, we'll say to a client, oh, I'm so sorry. That was completely our fault. We're in the middle of doing this and, and changing this as we grow. And
right.
yeah.
Owning your role and whatever those
Yeah.
things are, right? Yeah. Well, it looks like there's a very bright future ahead for what you have going. And I'm over the moon happy for you to
Thank you.
see how your life has, just become this like great dream where you're just there in St. John celebrating your birthday. And I look forward to watching you continue to grow. And I may not have told you this, but you have always inspired me with your your positivity, but then also you're truly a very kind and caring person, and it comes
Thank
across
you.
in such a strong way that I know that has a lot to do with your success, because this industry, you really have to have a big heart for people if you're going to be able to grow.
Yeah, thank you. And a lot of this this journey, especially with also going into cleaning business fundamentals, is a lot of people I share my story with a lot of people in the CBF community, but outside of this community, and with people that are viewing this podcast, is that I'm going on 4 years sober. And it would not be possible if it wasn't for CBF. I joined CBF in April of 2021. And it was, I want to say April 14th or 13th of 2021. And then less than a month later, or a little bit more than a month, May 20th, I woke up one day after being on a call with other CBF members. And I had drank a lot the night before. And I woke up that next day, and another part of being, I think, a business owner and a good business owner is to listen to your intuition and listen to that voice. And if your voice inside or your intuition is telling you something, you need to change. And it's up to you when I believe God gives you that message. And that was the big thing for me, is that I woke up the next morning and I heard that message and said, run $1 million business company or run with the booze. And that was the voice and the message that I needed to hear. And I never picked up a drink again.
Wow.
And it was amazing. And that was, I believe this community has this power of this spiritual like awakenings, for individuals that are seeking help. Because I think that we are the ones that are so lost in chaos, but we want it to be right because we're entrepreneurs. And I think that what CBF has really given me is that point of listening to that voice inside, listen to that intuition, listen to what God is telling you.
Right. Well, what's going on in our head, a lot of times we don't listen, we don't pay attention to it, right? We have a thought, but we just push that away. And one of the things that we learn in our coaching program is mindset is everything. It's like where your head is either going to help you grow your business or it's going to limit your business. It's so dependent on the owner. And thank you for sharing that story, because I'm sure that there are people who are listening to this today who are feeling overwhelmed, and they may be turning to things in their lives that are counterproductive to not only their business success, but to live the life to the full that we're promised, right? And
without it,
and whatever that thing is, and they're feeling like they don't have a choice, like that they have to keep moving, that they have to keep having that in their life. The fact that you just got up one day and said, nope, I'm all done with that. And you made that decision. It's super powerful, but it's when you surround yourself with positive, success-minded people, suddenly you become that person too, right? Like it's contagious, and it's fantastic.
It is. And the thing is that nobody is better than anybody. We all, when you get to that point of being, like I learned a lot last year. I think last year, 2024, was a big learning year for me, with just relationships, building relationships, surrounding myself with the right people, education, continuing to educate myself. Knowing that, if you have people in your family or friends or surroundings or employees that don't make you feel good inside, don't be with them. It
You
is,
don't have to.
you don't have to. And that was really the big awakening, is that I don't need to be friends with someone if they don't make me feel good inside. Just because I've been friends with them for 5 years, you grow. And I think that, again, going back on that mindset, is that once you open your mind and you accept that and you want to grow, sometimes you outgrow people, right? And it's okay. I think that's the biggest thing. You don't have to feel bad about outgrowing somebody that might be bringing you down.
Yeah.
And the other thing is to learn to say no. Because I think the more successful that we get, and the more successful that we get, the more people will want from you,
Mhm.
or they'll want to know from you,
Just the
or
more doors that open and the more opportunities that come and the
yeah,
shiny things that are
yeah,
everywhere, right?
everywhere.
They're everywhere. It's so hard. The struggle is
it's
real.
it is so hard. Like, even on Facebook, you're scrolling, you're like, ooh, that looks good. Maybe I should
Yeah,
get that. Or
maybe I
and
should
then
do
what
that.
I've learned to do is I go to that little button in the top there, like,
Yes.
show me less of this.
Yep. I love that hide this button.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm
Uh-huh.
in
Yeah,
social
because
media, I use that button a lot too. Yeah. Well,
uh-huh.
that's so good. Well, gosh, it was very moving, for you to share that. And also I think it's going to be just a great help to many people. So,
Yeah, I hope
thank
so.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for that. And um, you know, I wish you and Tony and your team just amazing success in 2025. I feel like this is going to be a big bright year for
Yeah.
you and on a lot of us in the cleaning industry.
Yeah.
And just speaking to our audience that, you know, follow Aaron's lead. Like, if you are struggling in your business, do like you're doing today. Seek out information, seek out people who can help you, and surround yourself with the right people, because when you find your tribe, you
Mhm.
will become unstoppable.
Yeah.
I've just seen it happen over and over again in the lives of entrepreneurs when they click with a group of people, and then their business takes off because they're surrounding themselves with that positive energy and knowledge and
Yeah.
all of that.
And
And
I think that, like, God sees that. I think that, he will remove people from your life, and it's the signs that and the intuition and the signs and the messages that you have to learn, that that God gives us, and that's a big part, like, in my life, is that every day I wake up and I thank God for my sobriety. I thank God for him, teaching me and giving me that message, because I drank my whole life, and excessively sometimes. It wasn't every day, but it was excessively. And it was that message that really, it changed me. It really did. And I was 40, I'm gonna say I'm 49 now, and so 44, yeah, 45 years old when that happened. So it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. It
we
can
can
happen.
all start today
Yeah. Yeah,
or
exactly.
tomorrow. We're new every morning, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we can
We have
start.
one opportunity here. We have one life. Take advantage of it every day.
That's right. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Well, your story is amazing,
Yeah.
Aaron. And we're very grateful to have you here on True Crime Stories. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Uh,
Jeannie, for
yeah.
having me.
Yeah, thank you. And to our audience, thank you for also being part of True Crime Stories. It's because of you that we can keep sharing these episodes. So be sure to download, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends. And if you'd like to know more about the things that we're talking about today, go down into the show notes. We'll be sharing links to learning about Aaron's great business, Platinum Star Cleaning. But also, if you'd like to know more about cleaning business fundamentals, reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you. So thank you everyone for being here, and we'll see you again on the next episode of True Grime Stories.
That's a wrap on today's True Grime Stories. Thanks for joining us in uncovering the secrets of cleaning business success. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and download, and check out our show notes for links and info from today's episode, and to learn more about our sponsor, Cleaning Business Fundamentals. Join us next time as we solve another true crime story.